The family of a 2-year-old girl who went missing from a naffy in Germany more than 30 years ago have marched to Downing Street to deliver handwritten letters to the Prime Minister. They're trying to raise the profile of a case they fear has gone cold. Rosie Leyden went with them.
Katrice Lee's family feel the missing toddler's case was not thoroughly investigated at the time of her disappearance in 1981.
It took 6 weeks for the girls that were working on the checkout, the day that my daughter disappeared, to be interviewed. And in one case it took 20 years for one of those members of staff to be interviewed. It took 48 hours for border control points to be informed that my 2-year-old child was missing. And it took 24 hours for sniffer dogs to be brought into the naffy to try and pick up a scent from Katrice.
Katrice's father was a sergeant in the 15th and 19th King's Royal Hussars when she disappeared, and many of his former comrades have travelled down from the north of England to show their support to the family.
All the lads realised, after a few days that there was nothing really being done, there was nothing. We were searching, of course, yeah, but there was no, people who had been on duty hadn't even been interviewed by the RMPs, you know what I mean? And we all thought that was a bit strange, really, for an investigation. We thought it should have been a lot deeper.
The family hope today's march will generate renewed interest in Katrice's disappearance and increase the pressure on the SIB to hand over case files for independent review. In response, the MOD released a statement saying Defence Minister Marc Francois has offered to meet with the family to discuss their concerns.
For today, for me, it's just, I am sort of riddled with sadness a little bit that this didn't happen 31 years ago. However, I need to now look forward and focus on the fact that we have got quite a lot of media attention and coverage today. So therefore, I'm just hoping that possibly somebody will come forward who maybe knows where Katrice is. He can see what he or she can see what we're going through as a family, and maybe come forward and give us the answer and tell us where Katrice is.
The day ended with Sharon and Tasha delivering handwritten letters to the Prime Minister in a bid to get his support for their cause.
Obviously it's a day for me tinged with great sadness because 31 years today I have my 2-year-old daughter with me. And today is also Katrice's birthday. She's 33 today. So although the day is a very happy day for us in parts, we also have to remember that it's Katrice's birthday, and had she been here with us, then it would have been a very happy day for us as well. So it's a mixture of both emotions.
Sharon Lee speaking there. Well, Paderborn, where Katrice went missing, is still home to thousands of British troops and families, although few, if any, remain who were actually there at the time. The mystery of the 2-year-old's disappearance still haunts the area every anniversary. From there, Jeff Mead reports.
Today, families Christmas shop at the main naffy supermarket in comparative security. It sits in a compound surrounded by fences topped with barbed wire. But in 1981 it was much more open, then sited in the town of Schloss Neuhaus, close to a motorway midway between Paderborn and Sennelager. It was in this building, now a school cafeteria. 31 years ago, a busy Saturday afternoon, was Katrice's birthday. She became separated near the entrance from her mother and aunt. In minutes they raised the alarm. But despite a search, no trace was ever found. The fast-flowing Lippe River runs close by, and police initially assumed a tragic accident, not a crime. Her family insist the water-shy child would never have gone near the steep sloping bank.
Well, that's about a minute in a straight line from what was the shop entrance to this, the nearest point of the river. Of course, a toddler would have taken far longer, and Katrice's family argue that it's unthinkable that nobody in what would have been a busy shopping area noticed a 2-year-old straying dangerously close to the water's edge.
Her parents were reassured at the time that all was being done to find their daughter. Over the years, they've grown angry at gaps in the military police-led investigation, ex-Sergeant Major Lee describing it as Keystone Cops. Now the family's demanding access to case files to explain why possible abduction was so discounted it was 6 weeks before shop staff were questioned. The civilian police's role in backing up the SIB's investigation has also come under scrutiny. At Bielefeld, one detective from the region's Murders and Missing Persons squad remains assigned to the mystery. She told me the case was last reopened in 2000, with a suspect later released through lack of evidence.
Über die Jahre haben wir in diesem Fall Hunderte von Polizeistunden investiert. Over the years we have devoted hundreds of hours to this case, and in the year 2000, I was seconded from my normal duties to work exclusively with the British police investigators, and we have assigned many officers and specialists, even the BKA, the Federal Criminal Service, and pursued every lead, old and new.
The family's main hope now rests with this, that someone will recognise a computer enhancement of how 33-year-old Katrice might look now, and that she's grown up safe in Germany, unaware of who she really is or those of her former life who are desperately seeking her. Jeff Mead, Forces News, Paderborn.